Hello, welcome back to Chapter 10, Section 2, Frequency and Histograms. And in this video, this example, we're going to actually make a histogram. All right, so the big question is, what is a histogram? Well, a histogram, it actually looks like a bar graph. But there's a couple things that are important about the bar graph, okay? First of all, it uses intervals. You may remember that bar graphs use categories. Well, a histogram, the categories are numbers. So here's my previous sheet. These intervals right here, which are the same as over there, but here's my final. These intervals over here are going to be the categories, and they're going to go in order. So that's what separates a histogram from a bar graph, is that there's a special way of putting the categories together. These aren't even what we would call categorical data. It's numeric data that has been in order, okay? And the other thing is that the bars have to touch. So the bars are not going to be separated like you saw the bar graphs before. In this case, the sides of the bars are going to touch. That means that I actually have to really think about what the graph is going to look like before I draw it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch over. I'm going to grab a pencil. Now I hope you can see it. I always use the Sharpie so you can see it in the video. I hope you can see it, but I will redraw it with the Sharpie when I'm all finished. All right? So let's look at our frequency table. We're going to make a histogram of this table that we did in the previous video. My bar graph is going to have across the bottom these intervals. I've already got that. I don't have to do anything else. I'm going to have 5 bars, one for each of these intervals. This is going to represent the height of the bar. The highest one I'm going to have is 6. Usually you don't want your bar graph, you don't want the bars to go all the way to the top. You want to like make a little bit of space, not too much space. We'll talk about that when we talk about misleading graphs. But you want to, it's aesthetics, okay? So we want to like give it a little bit of space. So I'm going to go put a little bit of a margin there and go up to 8. All right? So to sketch my graph, and again, I'm just using my pencil here. Hopefully you guys can see that. I've got 5 intervals. So I'm going to try, oh, and that's something else. Let me write it this way. The bars all have equal width. So all the bars are exactly the same width. Now, I probably should use a ruler to make that happen. So I'll try to do my best. See, this is why you gotta. I was gonna sketch this. I'll tell you what, I'll do a better job for you then. Okay? Whoops. So I'm gonna draw this out, and I'm just gonna do this. Okay, so I'm gonna do 2 centimeters each. 4, 5. Perfect. And I will try, again, this is just a sketch. So I'm just going to sketch me a grid here, like this. And like I said, I'm going to go up to 8. So I'll go across 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, that's good. Graph paper would be really useful, but this will be okay. So I'm going to put my pencil down, put my ruler back over here. And now I'm going to start drawing in with my Sharpie. All right. So I'll separate these out a little bit. If you remember from the previous example, my interval's 68 to 70, so I'm going to write this, 68 to 70. This will be 71 to 73. And sometimes people write it sideways or slanted to get it to fit in. It doesn't matter. This will be 74 to 76, 77 to 79, and 80 to 82. Same as what I have here, I just wrote it that way. Now over here on the side, I'll mark off the numbers. And you don't have to write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's okay. People can figure that out. So I'll go 2, 4, 6, 8. All right. Now the only thing we have left to do is we need to draw the bars. Move that out of the way. So my first bar goes up to 3. So I'm going to draw it like this. My next bar goes up to 4. And the bars are going to touch. Then I go up to 6, then 2, then 1. So this one will go up to 6. This will go up to 2 and 1. And that's a histogram. So again, just to double check, you've already done all of the stuff. You're just going to make a graph of this data that you've already done. Just remember, it uses the intervals that I had before. The bars are touching, so there's no space between them. And the bars are all equal width. And when I use my ruler to draw it, each of these are about 2 centimeters. It doesn't matter what it is. A lot of times you're going to use software, so that's probably going to come up automatically. But just it allows us to compare from one to the other. And actually, to be honest, for the bar graphs that we did in the last section, those all had to be equal width anyway. All right. I do need to give it a title. I'll give it the same title from the frequency table, golf tournament scores. And I believe that is it. So we'll see you in the next video.